Welcome to your mat. My name is Alicia. This class will focus on our quads and our hip flexors. So when you're ready, have two blocks and we'll get started on our seats. So stretch your legs out long. Bring your blocks next to your ankles on either side. You can play with the height setting. So this would be tallest, middle, or lowest. Then from here, flex your toes. Bring your hands beside your hips, rise to your fingertips. Roll your shoulders up toward your ears and down your back. Do that a couple times. Feel the connection of your navel draw in toward your spine and up. Then lengthen your neck, reach to the crown of your head. Full breath in, full breath out. One more just like that. Breathe in and breathe out. Stay strong through your quads here, toes flexed. Press your fingertips down. As you inhale, left heel lifts, bring it up and around outside the left block. Inhale, right heel lifts, bring it up and around outside the right. Then right leg lifts, bring it back into center. Left leg lifts, bring it up and over to the center. Right leg up and over. Left leg up and over. Right leg up and over. Left leg up and over. Left leg up and over to the outside. Right leg up and over. Then this time, bring your left leg up and over to the center, then up and over to meet the right. So scoot your hips back, flex your toes, fingertips stay active, press the floor away. Then left leg up, tap through the center, draw over to the left and tap. Draw up to the center, back to the middle, up and over to meet your right. One more time, lift the left leg up, draw it over, lift it up again, cross it to the outside of your block, lift it up, tap it in the center, lift it up, bring it back to meet the right. Full breath in, stay breath out. Inhale, left heel lifts. Exhale, drag it to the center. Pull it over to the left. Then from here, right leg lifts, over taps in the center. Inhale up, exhale, tap to the left. Reorient your fingers so hands are on the outside of your hips. Lift your heart. Right leg up, bring it to the right. One more time. Back through center. Meet the left to the center, to the outside. Back to center. Back to meet the left. One more time. To the center, to the outside, to center. Back to meet the left. Now from here, walk your fingers a little bit closer from your hips to your knees. From here, scoot your hips back, lift up through your heart, press the floor away. Then from here, find your sits bones. Fingers, again, play with your distance. The closer to your knees, the easier it'll be because you can use your hands as leverage. So lift both heels, tap them through the center, adjust your hands, lift up, tap outside to the right, adjust your hands, lift up, back through center, adjust your hands, lift up, tap outside the left. Bring your hands. From here, scoot your hips back, find a forward fold. Let your arms fall by your side. Navel in, crown of head forward. Melt your chest toward your thighs. Full breath in and out. Inhale, gently walk your hands back towards your hips. Bend your knees. Come into center, cross your ankles. Grab your blocks. Then come to a tabletop position. Plant your blocks so they are on the lowest setting. This will just give you a little extra leverage and incline on your shoulders to your wrists, which will help you draw your navel in. So from here, come to this tabletop position. Toes are tucked under, shoulders on top of your wrists. Press the floor away. Full breath here. Stay breath out. Inhale, lift your right knee, tap your right wrist, then send it back. Bring your left knee, tap your left wrist, send it back. Right knee taps the right wrist, send it back. Left knee taps and back. Right knee taps and back. Left knee taps and back. Right knee taps, back. Left knee taps, back. Right knee taps the left wrist, and send it back. Left knee taps the right wrist, back. Right knee taps the left. Left knee taps the right. Right knee taps the left. Left knee taps the right. Come back to a tabletop. From here, inhale, cow, belly drops, eyes lift. Exhale, crow cow. Inhale, cow. Exhale, crow cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, crow cat. Inhale, come to neutral. Exhale, bring your knees to touch, toes to touch. Then sit your hips back, child's pose with your arms lifted on the blocks. Keep your toes tucked under, hips draw towards your heels. Lengthen your tailbone back. Move your heart towards the floor. Extend your arms out. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more just like that. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, rise back to a tabletop. Have your blocks nearby just in case you want them. Bring your hands back to a tabletop. Then from here, untuck your toes. Bring your right knee into your chest. Then scoop your right heel forward. Come to a half splits. Fingers on the floor, palms down, or maybe hands are on your block. Flex your right toes back towards your face. Plug your hip back. Lift your chest up. Deep breath in. Stay breath out. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Exhale, fold over your right straight leg. Find length in your back. Flex your right toes. Stay active in your right leg. Find this fold starting at your hips. Breathe in. Last breath out. Inhale, straighten your arms, lift back up. Toe heel your right foot out to the outer right corner of your mat. So you're at an angle here with your foot. Right toes point out. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, shift forward, plant your right foot, bend your right knee. Exhale, shift your hips back, straighten your right leg. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, come back. Two more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. One more. And back. Inhale, come forward and pause. Lizard lunge, toes out. Bring your forearms to the mat. Rock to the outer edge of your right foot. Shine the inner sole up. Lengthen your left leg back. Soften your head and neck down. Find a little rocking motion of inner groin here. Find softness through your head and neck. Then from here, plant the sole of your right foot. Press back into your hands, lift your chest. Walk your right foot back to midline. Right hand comes to the outside. Then from here, straighten your right leg. Walk your hands back. Scoot your left heel slightly out. Move your calf off to the side. Sit your hips all the way down to the floor for a half seated forward fold or Ekapada Paschimottanasana. Option to have a block here to place beneath your sits bones to lift up if there's any pressure on your left bent knee. Otherwise, press the top of your left foot down. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Reach your hand to your calf, ankle, toes, or beyond. Rest your head down. Feel your tailbone draw down and back, but pull through the crown of your head. So create this tether in either direction. One more breath in. Stay breath out. Inhale, walk your fingers back toward your hips, lift up. Flex your right toes. Now root into your fingertips. Inhale, lift your heel for 5. Drop your heel down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. So much of our hip flexor strength and flexibility in our quad comes from actually strengthening the muscle. So the more exercises we can do with this, with these tiny micro movements to strengthen, starting at our hip flexor through the quad, will help us with our flexibility once we get to really stretching the front line of our quad. So from here, walk your hands back forward, lift up, rebend into your right knee, step your right knee back to meet the left, plant your palms, inhale, cow, exhale, curl cat. Inhale, come to neutral. From here, bring your knees to touch, draw your left knee in, step it through to a half split. Straighten out your left leg, flex your left toes. Adjust your length, hips high, flex your left toes. Move your heart forward, find a halfway lift in your spine. Deep breath in, stay breath out. One more just like that, breathe in. Exhale, fold deep over your left straight leg. Let your head and neck be soft. Find length here. Stay active in left leg, toes flex back toward your face. Move your heart down. Breath in and breath out. One more just like that. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, press into your arms, lift up. Toe heel your left foot out to the outer left corner of your mat, toe out, heel in. So you're in this diagonal half splits. Full breath in, pull your heart forward. Exhale, move your hips back. Inhale, rock forward, left knee bends. Exhale, left leg straightens, hips move back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, hips back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, move forward. Exhale, back. One more time, inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pause in lizard lunge, left toes out, heel in. Drop down to your forearms. Rock to the outer knife edge of your left foot. Right toes are tucked for more activation or untucked. Shift the weight off of your right kneecap. Find a little pulsation from side to side. Use your breath to end to areas of stiffness. And release, press into your palms, lift back up, bring your left foot back to midline, hands to either side. Then from here, untuck your right toes if they are tucked. Left foot comes forward, straighten out into a half splits. Then walk your hands back for half seated forward fold. Move your right calf, right heel is slightly outside your right glute. Let your hips fully sit back. Flex your left toes. Again, option to place a block beneath your seat. This side might feel slightly different than the other. From here, arms by your hips, inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, seated forward fold. Reach your hands towards your shin, ankle, toes, or beyond. Move your heart towards your shin. Draw your forehead down. Send your tailbone back. Reach the crown of your head forward. Take 3 breaths, slow and steady. Last one. Inhale, gently rise back up. Walk your fingers back towards your hips. Plant your hands to your hips. Draw your knees in towards one another. Fingertips connect to the earth. Press the floor away. Then lift your heel 5 times. Left leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, shift forward, rebend into your left leg. Plant your hands. Bring your left knee to meet the right. Toes touch. Tuck your toes under, then sit your hips back. Child's pose. Melt your heart towards the mat. Full breath in. Full breath out. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Come to a toe stand. Hands to your thighs. Stack your shoulders on top of your hips. Inhale, rise up to standing on your knees, send your hips forward. Exhale, tap your hips to your heels. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. For 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay up here. Stay lifted. Then from here, bring your knees to touch. Untuck your toes. Cross your right knee behind the left. Part your feet. Use your hands on your outer hips to encourage your hips forward. Full breath in. Stay with a balanced breath out. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, side flexion to the left. Left arm down, right arm up. Hips forward. Stretch through outer thighs, lower back. You can use your left hand to press your hips forward, or just keep it down by your side. Deep breath in. Stay breath out. Inhale back to center. Exhale, side flexion to the right. Right hand drops. Encourage your right hip forward. Tuck your left shoulder back. Lead with your chest. Squeeze your inner thighs. Full breath in. And release. Bring your hands back to the mat. Use the support to unwind. Then rise back up to standing on your knees. Tuck your toes under. Hands to your hips. Inhale, hips forward. Exhale, hips tap to your heels. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay at standing on your knees. Untuck your toes. Bring your knees to touch. Left behind the right this time. Squeeze your inner thighs. Part your feet. Create a tripod to balance. Hips forward. Low belly strong. Send your arms up. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, ribs in. Exhale, side flexion to the right. Right hand down. Right hip forward. Lead with your chest. Inhale through your nose. Keep the heat inside. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, side flexion left. Push your left hip forward. Right shoulder back. Draw your ribs back in. Squeeze your inner thighs. Deep belly breath in. Last breath out. Inhale, arms back to sky. Exhale, plant your hands. Unwind. Bring your knees to touch. Tuck your toes under. Lift back to standing on your knees. Bring your hands to your heart. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reach to the crown of your head. Exhale, shift your hips, shift your shoulders back in one vertical line. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, slowly recline. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower back. Last 3, come forward and shift back. Shift forward and shift back. Shift forward and shift back. My knee is popping, ignore it. Shift forward and back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, sit back, untuck your toes. Come to sitting on your shins. Hands back to your thighs. Deep full body breath in. Deep full body breath out. From here, come to a tabletop. Have your block nearby. So setting up hero's pose, bring your knees to touch. Part your feet, tops of feet to the floor. Use your hands. Now take your calf, run from the back of your knee down your calf. Feel the calf muscle. From here, then roll the calf muscle out. Sit your hips in between. Option to place a block. beneath your sits bones here. Otherwise, let your hips fully connect to the floor. Hands to your quads. Full breath in. Stay breath out. Stay here lifted or begin to recline. Bring your hands behind you. Knees energetically drag in and press into the floor. Use your hands to lower down to your elbows. Pause here. Tops of feet press down. Avoid sickling through your ankles. Let your feet be at a straight line. Chin tucks in. From here, if your knees are still working towards the floor, they're not lifting like this, they're really drawing down. Continue to recline. Use the support of your elbows, knees in and down. Hands can come to your belly or maybe reach up overhead. Feel the full expression if your arms are overhead. Stretch your quads. Soften your breath. We'll stay here for 10 breaths. Let something go. Let the resistance begin to fade away. Feel your quads begin to release. Surrender into the shape. Last 5 breaths. Soften your shoulders. Soften your jaw. Last 3 breaths. Last 2. Last breath. From here, bring your elbows down by your rib cage. Press into your elbow tips. Gently lift up. Take a moment to pause. Then press your hands either into your feet or into the mat. Lift back up. Hands come out in front. Lift your hips. Toes can come in, knees come in. Sit back to your heels. Hands to the floor. Roll over your toes. Come to this tucked position. Then sit your hips back to the floor. Straighten out your legs. Give yourself a little massage on your quads. Then from here, scoot your hips forward, flex your toes. Bring your hands beside your knees. Lift up through right heel and lower. Lift up through your left heel and lower. Lift your right heel, lower. Lift your left and release. Lift your right, release. Lift your left, release. Lift your right and release. Lift your left, release. Lift your right, release. Lift your left and release. From here, hug your right knee into your chest. Capture your shin, give yourself a squeeze. Lift your heel off the floor. Plug in your hip, then sway from right to left. Stay active through both feet. Lift in your chest. From here, bring your hands to the ball mound of your right foot. Bring your knee into your chest, shin parallel to the sky, the start of Huron pose. Lift your chest. Feel the compression of your quad to your ribs. Stay here with your knee bent or straighten your right leg. Stay flexed to your left toes. Gaze to your right big toenail. Use your elbows, wrap your triceps in. Straighten through your back. Should feel this slightly in your calf. Not so much in your hamstring. With the compression, feel your thigh and rib glue towards one another. Deep breath in and release. Hands release, maybe foot stays lifted, then foot lowers. Bring your left knee into your chest. Capture your shin. Lift your left heel off the mat. Flex your toes. Create a little motion in your left hip socket. When you're ready, capture the left ball mound of your foot. Plug your left knee into your chest, squeeze in tight. Straighten out your back, then lift your heel, shin parallel to the sky. Really strong through right quad and right toes. Gaze to your left toe, stay bent in your knee, or kick your heel straight here on pose. Eyes stay at your big toe. Find the compression ribs to your thigh. Lift up through your spine. Lengthen the crown of your head. Full breath in. Stay breath out. One more just like that. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last time, breathe in. And breathe out. Maybe left leg stays floated. Hands come to the floor. Then release the left leg. Inhale, arms to the sky. Scoot your hips back. Exhale, seated forward fold, bow forward. Scoot your hips back. Lengthen your chest towards your thighs. Relax your head and neck. Arms rest gently beside knee, ankle, toes beyond. Stay for 3 breaths. Last breath. Gently walk your hands back to your hips, lift up. Flex your toes, shine your palms to the sky. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower down 30 degrees. Inhale, rise your chest back up. Exhale, lower 60 degrees. Keep your heels pressed into the floor. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, slowly lower about 90 degrees. Press your heels down, hollow through your back, slow and steady. Release your shoulders, release your head. Plant one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Inhale through your nose. Audible exhale through the mouth, let it go. I invite you to stay in final Shavasana for a couple moments. Reset through your body and your mind. And I thank you for coming to your mat today. Namaste.